All right, so here we go with your Quiz 9 study guide. Problem number 1. We're going to write an equation in slope-intercept form of a line through the point 7, 2 with a slope of 3. So we need to, since we're given a point and the slope, we're going to write it in point slope form first, and then we're going to convert it to slope intercept. So we're going to go with our letter y and the opposite of the y value equal to the slope, the letter x, and the opposite of the x value given, so minus 7. The next step is to distribute the slope. So y minus 2 is equal to negative 3x plus 21. Add 2 to each side. And your y is equal to negative 3x plus 23. All right, problem number 2. Write an equation in point slope form of a line through this point 8, 7 with slope 4. All right, so point slope form, this is going to be the letter y and the opposite of the y value given. So y minus 7 equals the slope, which is 4. Left parenthesis, letter x. And then the opposite of the x value given, so minus 8. Looks like answer choice D. And then problem number 3. Write an equation in point slope form of the line through the point with the slope. Same question. All right, just another opportunity to get a question correct. So we go y and the opposite of the y given. So plus 3 equals the slope, which is negative 6. Left parenthesis, letter x. And then the opposite of the x given, minus 8. Answer choice B. Now, a suggestion for practicing for your quiz tomorrow would be to get out some blank paper and then open this video. When you push play, as soon as it plays enough of the video to see the first question, push pause. Then work the problem. And then push play to see if you got it right. Okay? If you didn't, just rewind it a little bit, watch the explanation again, and then repeat the process until you can go through the whole video and get every problem on the study guide right. Okay? All right, so we're on problem number 4. Write an equation in slope-intercept form through the points negative 5, negative 2, negative 2, 7. We did this yesterday. The first thing you need to do in this problem is to find the slope. So our slope for number 4, our m, is equal to 7 minus negative 2 over our x sub 2 minus our x sub 1. So negative 2 minus negative 5. 7 minus negative 2 is 9. Negative 2 minus negative 5 is 3. 9 over 3 equals 3. Now, Before we get to slope-intercept form, we've got to write it in point-slope form because we don't have the y-intercept. So it doesn't matter which point you use when you write it in point-slope form. When you distribute the slope and solve for y, you're going to get the same equation no matter which point you use. So I'm going to use this second point. So I'm going to take y minus 7 equal to 3 times x plus 2. I'm going to distribute the slope. So y minus 7 equals 3x plus 6. Add 7 to each side. And our y is equal to 3x plus 13. When you're just given the 2 points, you find the slope first, you write it in point slope form, distribute the slope, and solve for y. All right, so with problem number 5 over here, same concept. I'm going to do my slope right here, though. So my slope is equal to 5 minus negative 3 over 2 minus 1. And 5 minus negative 3 is 8. 2 minus 1 is 1. And 8 over 1 is equal to 8. So now, if you scan these answers, it looks like they use the point with the 1 and the 3. Because none of your options have the 2 and the 5 in them. So we're going to use the 1 and the 3, the 1 and the negative 3. So we go y plus 3 is equal to our slope, which is 8, times the letter x and the opposite of our x value, which is minus 1. All right, so B right here. Problem number 6, write an equation in, we're back to slope-intercept form of a line through the point with the slope. So again, you're going to write it in point-slope form first, distribute the slope, and solve for y. So let's see. We're going to go the letter y and the opposite of the y given equal to the slope, left parenthesis, letter x, and opposite of the x given. We're going to distribute the slope. Y minus 5 equals 3x plus 27. Add 5 to each side. And y is equal to 3x plus 32. Number 7, equation for a line that passes through the points. So we need the slope first. Our m is equal to our y sub 2 minus our y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So 6 minus negative 3 is 9. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. That makes our slope negative 9. In all of these equations, they're using the 2 and the 3. So we're going to use the 2 and the negative 3. So y and the opposite of the y value given equal to the slope, left parenthesis, letter x, and the opposite of the x value given. -9 and x minus 2. Answer choice A. All right, number 8. Is the line through these points P and Q parallel to the line through points R and S? Remember, parallel lines, they have the same slope. Parallel lines have the same slope, so all we got to do here is find the slope of each of these lines and compare them. So the slope of this first line is -1 minus 8 over -9 minus 8. So -1 minus 8 is -9. -9 minus 8 is -17. And a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So the slope of this first line, PQ, is 9/17. So let's just find the slope of the second line. In the numerator, we got 0 minus 5. You can kind of stop right now, can't you? In the denominator, we have -3 minus 3. Well, in the numerator, 0 minus 5 is -5. It's not 9, is it? In the denominator, -3 minus 3 is -6. Our slope of the second line is 5/6. Are the lines parallel? No. They have different slopes. Problem number 9. Write an equation for the vertical line that contains -7, -9. Here's a visual. If we take a coordinate plane, x-axis, y-axis, we plot this point. All right, let's say we got -7, -9. Here's the point. Agreed? Equation for a vertical line through this point. It's right here. What is every x value on this line?
-7.
Every x value on this line is -7. So the equation for the vertical line is that x equals -7. Vertical line equations all start with x equals. X equals whatever the x value is of the point that the line's going through. Now, with that said, let's look at the next problem. Write an equation for a horizontal line. So here's a horizontal line through -3, 6. Here's the coordinate plane. If we go -3, we go 6, and we plot it. There's the point, -3, 6. Horizontal line. So we draw a horizontal line through that point. If all vertical lines are x equals whatever x is at the point, then aren't all horizontal lines y equals whatever the y value is at the given point? So the equation for this horizontal line is y equals 6. Every y value on this line no matter where you go, no matter where you put a point on this line, the y value is equal to 6. That's the equation of the line. All right, that concludes your study guide. That's the last quiz of the term. Does anybody have any questions? All right, so for the rest of the period, you can either work on the study guide, like I just showed you how to do. I'll upload the video in about 3 minutes. Or you can be working in the ALEKS app and or finishing your or taking your electronic assignments for the last 2 days. All right, so everybody has something to do for the rest of the period. It's either work this study guide like I suggested, work in the ALEKS app, or finish your electronic assignments for the week, because those are going to close tomorrow night.